Hello, and welcome back to Better English Step by Step. This is your calm, long-form English learning podcast. I am Sarah, and I am here to help you build your fluency, not by rushing, but by walking through the language slowly, one step at a time. If you are new here, find a comfortable place. Maybe you are commuting, maybe you are washing the dishes, or maybe you are just relaxing at the end of the day. Whatever you are doing, take a deep breath. Today we are going to tackle a very specific feeling that every language learner knows.
Hi, Sarah. I think I know the feeling you are talking about. It is that moment when you want to say something, but you stop. You freeze.
Exactly, Mark. Hi, everyone. This is Mark, who will be learning along with us today. Mark, have you felt that? That moment where your brain just stops working?
Oh, absolutely. It happens when I have a complex idea. I know the words, but I am terrified of getting the grammar wrong. I start thinking, what if I make a mistake? What if they don't understand me? And then I just stay silent.
That silence is what we want to break today. That fear usually comes from one specific grammar point, conditionals, the if sentences. We worry about mixing up our tenses, so we don't speak at all. But today, we are going to change that. We are going to practice the first and second conditionals until they feel natural. We aren't just going to learn rules, we are going to repeat patterns until your mouth knows exactly what to do.
That sounds like exactly what I need. Less thinking, more speaking.
Perfect. Before we begin, if you want to finally feel comfortable with these long, complex sentences, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We post these long sessions to give you the time you need to really master a topic. All right, let's start with the reality, the first conditional.
This is for real situations, right?
Yes, we use the first conditional to talk about things that are likely to happen in the future. It is for plans, promises, and real consequences. The structure is simple, but we often overthink it. It is if plus the present tense, followed by will plus the verb.
If plus present followed by will.
Exactly. Listen to this example. If I have time, I will call you.
If I have time, I will call you.
Notice the first part, if I have time. It's present tense. We do not say if I will have time. That is a very common mistake. We say if I have time.
If I have time.
And the result is in the future. I will call you. So let's practice this rhythm. I want you, the listener, to repeat after Mark. We will start with short sentences. Mark, are you ready?
I am ready.
Listen and then repeat. If I study, I will pass.
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 Good. Feel that rhythm. Present, then future. Let's try another. If it rains, I will stay home.
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 Excellent. Now let's think about that fear we discussed, the fear of making a mistake. Let's use the first conditional to talk about that. Listen to this sentence. If I practice, I will improve.
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 Now let's make it a bit longer. We often use this tense for work or negotiation. Listen to this. If we finish early, we will leave.
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 Good. Now, listener, I want you to focus on the word if. When you say if, your brain should immediately get ready for a present tense verb. If I go, if she sees, if they come. Let's practice just that opening. Mark, repeat after me. If I go.
If I go.
If she sees.
If she sees.
If they come.
If they come.
Now add the result with will. If I go, I will see him.
If I go, I will see him.
If she sees it, she will like it.
If she sees it, she will like it.
If they come, they will help.
If they come, they will help.
Very good. This is the grammar of action. It is confident. It says this is a real possibility. Mark, how does that feel?
It feels solid. If I do this, that will happen. It feels like a plan.
Exactly. It is a plan. Now let's move to the place where fear usually lives, the hypothetical, the second conditional. This is where we talk about things that are not real right now or things that are unlikely. We use this to imagine.
This is the winning the lottery grammar, right?
Yes, that is the classic example, but we also use it to be polite or to talk about risks that probably won't happen. The structure changes here, And this is where people freeze. They panic because they don't know which verb to use. Here is the rule: if plus the past tense, followed by would plus the verb.
If plus past followed by would.
Yes, but here is the secret. Even though we use the past tense, we are not talking about the past. We are talking about now or the future, but we are imagining it.
That is so confusing. Past tense for the future?
I know. That is why we call it the unreal past. We use the past tense to show distance from reality. Listen to this. If I had $1 million, I would travel.
If I had $1 million, I would travel.
If I had. I don't have it, but if I had. Notice we use had, the past tense of have, and then the result, I would travel.
I would travel.
Let's practice this pattern. Listener, this is where you need to be careful. Do not say if I have. Say if I had. Repeat after Mark. If I had time, I would help.
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 Notice the difference? In the first conditional, we said, if I have time, I will help. That means I might actually have time. In the second conditional, if I had time, I would help, means I am busy. I definitely do not have time. It is imaginary.
So it is a polite way to say no?
Exactly. It is very useful for softening bad news. Let's practice that. If I knew, I would tell you.
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 Good. Now let's look at the fear of speaking. Often we worry about consequences that aren't real. We think, if I made a mistake, everyone would laugh.
Oh, that is a scary sentence.
It is. But look at the grammar. If I made, past tense of make, everyone would laugh. Would. Let's practice facing that fear. Repeat after me. If I made a mistake, I would learn.
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 Let's try another one, using the verb speak. The past tense is spoke. If I spoke perfectly, I would be boring.
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 Excellent. Now, there is a very important pronunciation tip here. In fluent English, we almost never say I would fully. We contract it. We say I'd learn, I'd travel, I'd be. Mark, can you try that?
I'd learn.
Yes, it sounds like the word I plus a soft D. I'd. Listener, try to make that sound. I'd. Let's put it into the sentences. If I had money, I'd travel.
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 If I knew the answer, I'd tell you.
If I knew the answer, I'd tell you.
If I knew the answer, I'd tell you.
Good. That sounds much more natural. It flows. The first conditional is sharp, I will. The second conditional is softer, I'd. Let's take a moment to breathe. We have covered the two main patterns, the real, if I do, I will, and the imaginary, if I did, I would. I feel like I understand them separately, but my problem is when I have to choose between them in conversation. I panic and say if I would go or if I will go, and I make a mess.
That is the most common issue. We are going to do a drill now called the switch drill. I am going to give you a situation. First, we will treat it as a real plan. Then we will switch and treat it as a dream or a hypothesis. We will flip back and forth so your brain learns to feel the difference.
Okay, I'm ready.
The verb is get the job. First, imagine it is a real possibility. You have an interview. You are confident.
Okay, real possibility.
If I get the job, I will move to London.
If I get the job, I will move to London.
Again, if I get the job, I will move to London.
If I get the job, I will move to London.
Now switch. Imagine you don't have the skills. It's just a dream. Use the past tense, got and would.
If I got the job, I would move to London.
If I got the job, I'd move to London. Use the contraction.
If I got the job, I'd move to London.
Hear the difference? Real, if I get, I will. Imaginary, if I got, I'd. Let's try another. The verb is see him. Real possibility.
If I see him, I will say hello.
If I see him, I will say hello.
If I see him, I will say hello.
Now imaginary. He is not here. He's in another country. But imagine, if I saw him, I'd say hello.
Perfect. If I saw him, I'd say hello. If I saw him, I'd say hello.
Let's try a negative one. This is tricky. The verb is not rain. Real possibility for tomorrow.
If it doesn't rain, we will go to the park.
Good. If it doesn't rain, we will go.
If it doesn't rain, we will go.
Now, imaginary. Look outside. It is storming. It is raining heavily. But imagine it stopped. The past tense of doesn't rain is didn't rain.
If it didn't rain, we would go.
If it didn't rain, we'd go.
If it didn't rain, we would go.
This drill is intense, but this is how you build the reflex. You need to feel the distance. Present tense feels close. Past tense feels distant.
That is a really helpful way to think about it. Present is close and real. Past is distant and imaginary.
Yes, and that distance is what keeps us safe. Often when we are afraid of failure, we live in the second conditional. We say, if I tried, I would fail. We keep the action distant. But to learn English, we need to move into the first conditional. If I try, I will learn.
That is a powerful shift.
Let's practice some sentences specifically about confidence and learning. I want to program your brain to be positive. We are going to use the first conditional because we want these things to be real. Listener, repeat these with conviction. If I speak, I will get better.
If I speak, I will get better.
If I speak, I... Now, imaginary. Look outside. It is storming. It is raining heavily. But imagine it stopped. The past tense of doesn't rain is didn't rain.
If it didn't rain, we would go.
If it didn't rain, we'd go.
If it didn't rain, we would go.
This drill is intense, but this is how you build the reflex. You need to feel the distance. Present tense feels close. Past tense feels distant.
That is a really helpful way to think about it. Present is close and real. Past is distant and imaginary.
Yes, and that distance is what keeps us safe. Often when we are afraid of failure, we live in the second conditional. We say, if I tried, I would fail. We keep the action distant. But to learn English, we need to move into the first conditional. If I try, I will learn.
That is a powerful shift.
Let's practice some sentences specifically about confidence and learning. I want to program your brain to be positive. We are going to use the first conditional because we want these things to be real. Listener, repeat these with conviction. If I speak, I will get better.
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 If I make a mistake, I will correct it.
If I make a mistake, I will correct it.
If I make a mistake, I will correct it.
If I make a mistake, I will correct it.
If I keep listening, I will understand.
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 Now, let's play with the second conditional to remove the fear of the worst-case scenario. We often think the worst outcome is a disaster. Let's minimize it. Imagine the worst thing happens. You forget a word.
Okay, if I forgot a word?
If I forgot a word, I would just smile.
If I forgot a word, I would just smile.
If I forgot a word, I'd just smile.
If I forgot a word, I'd just smile.
See, it's not so scary. If I didn't understand, I would ask.
If I didn't understand, I'd ask.
If I didn't understand, I'd ask.
If I didn't understand, I'd ask.
By practicing these sentences, you are preparing your brain for the situation. When it happens, and it will happen, you won't freeze. You will have a script ready. If I didn't understand, I'd ask. It becomes automatic.
That makes me feel much calmer. It is like having a safety net.
Exactly. We are building a safety net with grammar. Now, I want to move into a longer practice. We are going to do some extended shadowing. I am going to tell a short story about a decision. I will use both first and second conditionals mixed together, just like in real life.
Should we repeat after you sentence by sentence?
Yes, I will say the sentence, I will leave a pause. You repeat it. Try to copy my intonation. Try to copy the speed. If I go up, you go up. If I pause, you pause. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Here is the situation. I am thinking about changing my job. Listen and repeat. I am thinking about a new job.
I am thinking about a new job.
If I stay here, I will be safe.
If I stay here, I will be safe.
But if I stay, I won't grow.
But if I stay, I won't grow.
If I leave, it will be scary.
If I leave, it will be scary.
But if I leave, I will learn new things.
But if I leave, I will learn new things.
Imagine the other job.
Imagine the other job.
If I got that job, I would work harder.
If I got that job, I would work harder.
If I got that job, I would travel more.
If I got that job, I would travel more.
It would be challenging but exciting.
It would be challenging but exciting.
If I had the courage, I would apply today.
If I had the courage, I would apply today.
Maybe I do have the courage.
Maybe I do have the courage.
If I apply today, I will know next week.
If I apply today, I will know next week.
So I will do it.
So I will do it.
If I try, I will succeed.
If I try, I will succeed.
Excellent. Did you notice how we moved back and forth? If I stay here, I will be safe is reality. If I got that job, I would work harder is imagination. And finally, if I apply, I will know, brings us back to reality and action.
It felt like a journey inside someone's head. We do that weighing of options all the time.
We do. And doing it in English helps you think in English. You aren't translating. You are processing your life decisions using English grammar. That is fluency.
I noticed you emphasize the will and the would differently.
Yes, will usually carries a slightly higher, shorter pitch. It is sharp. I will go. Would is often softer, longer, or contracted. I'd go. Paying attention to that music helps you sound less robotic.
Can we practice the contractions you'd and we'd? I find those hard.
That is a great idea. You would becomes you'd. It sounds like the word you with a hard D at the end. You'd.
You'd.
If you practiced, you'd improve.
If you practiced, you'd improve.
If you went, you'd see.
If you went, you'd see.
And we would becomes we'd. Sounds like weed. Weed.
We'd.
If we hurried, we'd catch the bus.
If we hurried, we'd catch the bus.
If we left now, we'd be on time.
If we left now, we'd be on time.
And let's not forget they would becomes they'd. One syllable. They'd.
They'd.
If they knew, they'd be angry.
If they knew, they'd be angry.
If they tried, they'd succeed.
If they tried, they'd succeed.
This contraction practice is what takes you from B1 to B2 or C1 listening. Native speakers swallow these sounds. If you are waiting to hear a clear they would, you might miss it. But if you practice saying they'd, you will hear they'd.
That is so true. Once I started saying I'm gonna instead of I am going to, I started hearing it everywhere.
Exactly. Pronunciation practice is listening practice. Now, I want to do one final focus drill on the was-were exception in the second conditional. This is something that often scares students.
Oh, is this the if I were you rule?
Yes. In the second conditional, when we use the verb to be with I, he, she, or it, we traditionally use were instead of was. We say if I were, not if I was. Now, in modern casual English, many people say if I was. It is not a terrible mistake, but to sound educated and classic, if I were is better. And there is one phrase where you must use it, if I were you.
We use that for giving advice, right?
Yes, if I were you, I would accept the offer.
If I were you, I would accept the offer.
If I were you, I'd accept the offer.
If I were you, I'd accept the offer.
Let's practice this if I were pattern with other adjectives. Imagine you are not sick. If I were healthy.
If I were healthy.
If I were healthy, I would run a marathon.
If I were healthy, I would run a marathon.
If I were younger, I would travel the world.
If I were younger, I would travel the world.
If I were richer, I would buy a house.
If I were richer, I would buy a house.
It is a beautiful structure. It signals to the listener immediately, I am imagining. If I were tells the story before you even finish the sentence.
It feels very poetic, too.
It can be. English has a rhythm, and conditionals are the drums. Bam, bam, bam. If I do, I will. If I did, I would. Once you get that beat, you stop worrying about the individual words.
So Sarah, what should I do if I catch myself making a mistake? If I say, if I will go, I will see him.
Stop, breathe, and correct yourself immediately. If I go, reprogram the brain in the moment. Don't apologize, just restate it correctly. If I will go, if I go. That is how you learn. And what about writing? Writing is the best safe space. Write down your plans. Write down your dreams. Look at them. Check the verbs. If I save money, present, I will buy a car, future. If I won the lottery, past, I would buy an island, would. Seeing it on paper helps your eyes recognize the pattern so your ears can hear it later.
I feel like I have done a mental workout today.
You have. Conditionals are heavy lifting, but we have broken them down. We started with the real future, first conditional. We moved to the imaginary present, second conditional. We practiced the contractions. We practiced the switching.
I feel much more confident about the if now. It is just a trigger. If triggers a pattern. I just need to choose real or imaginary.
That is the only choice you have to make, real or imaginary. If it is real, present plus will. If it is imaginary, past plus would. Keep it that simple. Simple is good. Before we finish, let's do one last minute of rapid-fire questions. I will ask you a question, Mark, and you answer for yourself. Listener, you answer for yourself too. Try to be fast. Don't overthink. Hit me. Mark, what will you do if it rains tomorrow? If it rains, I will watch a movie. Listener, what will you do if it rains tomorrow? Good. Mark, what would you do if you found a wallet on the street? If I found a wallet, I'd take it to the police. Listener, what would you do if you found a wallet? Good. Mark, what will you do if you forget your English? If I forget, I will practice again. Perfect answer. If I forget, I will practice again. Fear is just a feeling. It doesn't have to stop you. The grammar is there to help you express the fear, not to create it. I love that. Use the grammar to express the fear. Thank you for joining us today on Better English Step by Step. We hope this session gave you the time and space to really feel these patterns. It is not about memorizing a table in a textbook. It is about feeling the rhythm in your mouth and in your ears.
And remember, if you practice, you will improve.
Exactly. If you practiced every day, you would be fluent very soon. See what we did there? First and second conditional. You got it. If you found this lesson helpful, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us create more long, calm lessons for you. And if you have a friend who is afraid of speaking, share this episode with them. Maybe they need to hear that mistakes are okay.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Take care, and step by step, you will get there. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye.
Bye.